Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's me here, Tremaine. I am back with another video. I know it's been a long time. Last time I had a video, I told y'all that I was leaving to go to basic because I enlisted into the military. Well, I'm back, and although today is April 15th, 2018, sorry it took me so long, y'all. I've been really busy, but I'm gonna give y'all an update. I'm gonna try to do the first video strictly basic, and then my next video is gonna be AIT, and then right after AIT I'm gonna go into my first drill at my unit. So let me tell y'all about basic. All right, well, first things first, excuse the background noise. I'm just coming back from drill, so I'm driving back home from Hammond. All right, so basic. I was stationed in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So this is how it went. I might be scatterbrained and, talking all over, but just bear with me. If you have any questions, comments, just leave them at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like and or comment. If you have any other questions at the end, just ask. All right, so to continue. So I left for basic. It was August 20th of 2017. So when I left, I had all the little bit that I had packed. And for the record, when they say pack lightly, and when I mean pack lightly, basically only go over there with your civilian clothes and a toothbrush and toothpaste, just in case something is wrong, like your plane gets stuck, or you get what's the word I'm looking for? Your plane gets delayed or something, and you have to go somewhere else, like a hotel or something. But pack lightly, trust me, this will pay off in the long run. So I left. I had me like a regular school size book sack. I had in there a change of clothes. I had my toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, all the necessities, personal hygiene items that I needed. So get to the unit, which was Lafayette RSP. Got there, I'm gonna say about 7:30, 8 o'clock that morning. Of course, my nerves was bad. I had signed my life over, which, I knew what I was getting myself into. So I went there, sat down in the recruiting office. It was me and this other girl. I can't even remember her name. So what we were doing, we were just sitting there watching the movie, waiting until it was time for us to leave. So we had a voucher. We had two vouchers. We had a breakfast voucher or a lunch voucher there while we was at our RSP recruitment station. And then we also had another voucher for whenever we went to the airport of, wherever we landed. So after that, fast forward some time watching the movie and all this stuff, it's time to go to lunch. We went to lunch, came back, and it was time for us to go to the airport. So I texted my mom, my dad, and the rest of my family that, I was about to leave, and if y'all would come and see me at the airport, come on, because once you get past TSA, that's it. So we get to the airport, and of course, butterflies, nervous, because I don't know what's ahead of me. I just know I'm leaving for the military. So it's almost time for me to leave, and my daddy starts crying. I didn't cry. I cried on the plane. I cried as I was going, but I didn't cry, in front of my family or anything like that, which probably wouldn't have. I try not to show emotion that much. LOL. Well, my daddy was crying. I don't know if my mom cried. I couldn't really tell. And if she did, she probably hated my grandmother. And then my stepmom was there. And I think that's it. Yeah, that was everybody. So, get on the plane. And I don't know what it was, but for some reason, it's like, how when you do something and you don't even have to express yourself or tell anybody what you're doing. It's like they automatically know what you're doing or where you're going. But I think it was because I had like a National Guard book sack. So it was like, you're leaving for the National Guard or the Army. And I was like, yes. And then people that was on the plane were asking me questions and all, and all this stuff, which I don't mind asking questions. I mean, answering questions. But look, my nerves are bad. Don't ask me any questions because I'm probably not even going to answer you the right way. You're going to get like a crazy answer or something. But anyway, get to my the next destination, which was my connecting airline in Atlanta. Stayed there for a little while. Then after that, we went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Here's where it got real. So get off the plane. They give you some instructions of where you have to go to find one of the drill sergeants. So we get off, and I try my best to find the drill sergeant. And it just so happened that everybody that was on that plane from Atlanta to South Carolina were all military, so we all just followed each other. And when we got there, of course, they were in drill sergeant mode. So this drill sergeant was standing at attention, and then he went to at ease, and then he just started talking. Well, not talking, but he's like, do this and do that. So we all had to stand up in line, have our bags to one side, have our paperwork on the other side, and then once everybody got up or got there from the plane, because there were several planes, there's constantly people just coming through. Once we got up there, we were able to go inside the USO, and if we wanted to grab like a snack or something, grab it, eat it in there, come right back into formation until it was time to move to our next step. Well, I was so nervous. I tell you, like the last time that I ate was in Houston, and I'm not in Houston, in Atlanta at the airport, and I didn't even eat after that. I was so nervous. Went to the USO, stood in front of the USO. I didn't even go in there because I knew if I were to eat something, I wouldn't have been able to consume it. It would have just been there, So after that, we filed for a line, and we had to walk to catch like one of the charter buses. Got into the charter bus. We were told to be quiet, don't say nothing. And we drove out. It felt like we were driving for a long time. They said it was only 30 minutes, but it felt like we were driving for at least an hour. So when we got there, this is where it got real again. So we get there, they tell us to get off the bus, hurry up and go form up over here, line up. So we line it up. Mind you, it is hot, okay? Yes, it's August, but it was hot. We was underneath this like little pavilion thing. So there was a drill sergeant there, and she was hollering and telling us to do this and do that. So we had to do, I can't remember what we were doing, but whatever it was, she said, this is what it said. She was calling something, like calling a command out for us to do, and you didn't sound off. If we didn't sound off, then we had to like do push-ups. So we all were sounding off, and then there was this one person where she said, the drill sergeant said to stop moving. So there was this one person, and I don't remember her name, but I remember how she looked. She was this short girl, blonde hair. She had like a pink jacket. Why she had on a pink jacket, I don't know, because it was hot. So they told her to stop moving. Oh, you don't want to stop moving? Everybody, half right face. Half right face is when you turn slightly, like, make a little half turn, and then they say front leaning rest position. And basically the front leaning rest position is when you get on your hands and your feet. No, not your feet, but like you're doing the push-up position. And then the drill sergeant kept telling us to go up and down, up, down, up, down. We did that so much, then you had to get up. Then she said something, stand at attention, somebody moved. Okay, jumping jacks. Because somebody else moved. So this kept on going on and on and on because somebody would just keep on moving. And she was like, the more y'all move, the more we're going to do this. She was like, I'm here all night and all day tomorrow. So guess what? We're going to do this all night if we have to until y'all stop moving. So eventually, after about 10 times, everybody stopped moving. So then we had to form a line, and then we had to go inside, complete all kind of paperwork, not knowing that all this paperwork I'm doing would have followed me all the way up until the end. Like, believe me when I say everything you do at reception, which is where I went. I thought when I first got off the airplane at Fort Jackson, I was going straight into Fort Jackson, but you have to go through like a 3 or 4 day reception process, which is like intake, where you do all your paperwork, all your shots, you get your uniforms, you get your, ASUs, you get your haircuts, you get all that. And about the haircuts, yes, you will be bald. Males, you will be bald. Females, if you want to go bald, they give you the opportunity, or they'll ask you, if you're natural, do you want to cut all your hair or leave it, long? You can't have any dreads if you're a male. If so, guess what? It's off. I've seen people that had their hair, braided up. Males, I'm talking about. It was braided up, or they had like a nice little cut, the dreads here and there. Guess what? Zoop, zoop, zoop. Off. Clean shaven face. Then during reception, there was a lot of hurry up and wait. Like, hurry up and do this, hurry up and do this. But then once you hurry up and do this or go here, you had to wait. So that was another issue in itself. They give you like this little book. It's called a blue book. And in this blue book, make sure you study it, know it, and everything, because you're going to need it your whole basic, your whole AIT. Well, maybe not your AIT, but you can reference it for AIT, but you will need it your whole basic. So once we did that, we're waiting in line because we had to do like our height, our weight, our measurements, and all this stuff. And while we were doing that, they had other drill sergeants around that would randomly pick somebody, ask them to stand up, and this is how they know that you were actually reading or studying your little blue book. They would ask you questions from like, a certain page in the book, and you had to be able to recall that and, verbally sound or say whatever it was that was in there. Like, a lot of it was the Soldier's Creed, or the Army values, or warrior ethos. What else there was? What's article or DA form 670-1, stuff like that. So thank God they didn't ask me, because Lord, my nerves were so bad at that point, I didn't even know. There was one where you had to sing the Army song. I tell you, I know it now, but if they would have asked me that in the beginning at reception to say the Army song or sing the Army song, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Not only would I not have been able to do it, I would have been off key, out of tune. Everybody's ears would have been bleeding. It would have been some stuff. So, pressing forward, moving forward. Of course, not knowing or going into this not knowing anybody in there, unless it's somebody from your unit that you went to. I met a few people in there. Some of the people that was there, I actually went to basic with them. Like, from reception, we finally went to our actual unit at basic, and we're actually good friends still today. So moving forward, there was this thing that you have to do. Is called Bay Guard or Fire Guard. It all depends on where you go. And at night, or throughout the day, there's 2-3 people or so. It all depends on what they choose. You have to go in shifts, and basically you have to, while people are sleeping or resting or whatever they're doing, you have to watch a particular area, whether it's the latrines, the hallway, or the barracks where you're sleeping, or outside. You're just basically patrolling. And if you want more information on that, I'm sure you can Google Fire Guard, Bay Guard, Army Life, and you'll be able to find it. Pushing forward, the DFAC is basically the dining facility where you go to eat your breakfast, or you go to chow, you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Actually, the food, it wasn't bad. It's just, I didn't like the fact, see, at a reception, it was a lot of hurry up and eat your food, so it wasn't as bad. So I want to say you may have had like maybe 10-15 minutes to eat at reception, but then like there was so much that you had to do that they rushed you, and you ate. You didn't look around, you didn't talk, you ate. If you looked and talked and you wasn't eating, get up, go throw your food, you're done for the day, or you're done for that time. And then once we finished eating, you went outside into formation. And this is what I kind of liked about after chow at reception. Everybody's in their formation, and you're assigned a number. And I remember our number, ours was 6-8. So whenever we would come out of the DFAC, everybody would be in their formation at their designated spot, and you would have to holler out your platoon number. And mine was 6-8, so I'd be out there 6-8, 6-8. And once you say 6-8, your platoon is supposed to hear you, and they call out 6-8. So once they say 6-8, you know where they're at. On first, it was like, why am I doing this? But after a while, you realize why they do it. It's just so you can know where you belong. Because there's been some times where some people wouldn't say it and they'll just fall into wherever they want to, and then drill sergeant would get on top of them. And when they would get on top of them, not literally on top of them, but in their face. And I mean, drill sergeant would be in your face, like in your face. But it was a lot of hollering. Nobody hit anybody or did anything. But it's a lot of that. So moving forward, we went to get our size for our boots. I tell you, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you already know the deal, especially if you've been through reception already. When you are getting size for your boots or your clothes, these people that does it, they say, oh, we're professionals, we know what we're doing, don't try to tell us what to do because we know what we're doing. If you tell them you wear a size 6 in a boot, you're either going to get a size 4 in a boot or you're going to get a size 8 in a boot. Okay? You're not going to get a size 6 in a boot because then I think you get two summer boots and a pair of winter boots. Here's the thing. Your boots are going to, mine were like too big, and even after I told them, they're going to tell you, oh, well, we'll give you the size that you want, but don't come back at us when you have blisters. Ma'am or sir, either way it go, whether you give me a smaller size, a big size, or the size I want in those boots that y'all were issuing out, I will still get blisters. I still got blisters, okay? My feet are still killing me today, even though I purchased me some boots after the fact. And if you're in reception and basic, you cannot purchase your own personal boots until after you graduate. You have to be in those boots. And let me tell y'all, those boots were horrible. They hurt, they're hard, there's no type of cushion. And at reception or basic, they wouldn't allow you to purchase any type of cushion support for your shoes. In order to get that, you had to go to Sick Hall and get a prescription or get it ordered for you in order to wear like support. I was so mad. I tell y'all, my feet was hurting so much, but I stuck through it. I did it. I've tried putting like double socks on. It didn't do. So I just went with my little one pair of socks and rolled with it. Those shoes are just hard, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Have you ever put on some shoes that are boots that were just so hard that just putting them on was just hurting you? But that's what I went through. Let's see, what else? I want to say that was basically it for reception. So moving forward to the day we ship out. So, well, the night before we shipped out, we had to make sure everything was there. We had 2 duffel bags, and in the duffel bags was all our uniforms, our ASUs, our not our ASUs, because we didn't get our ASUs yet. ASUs we picked them up at a later date. ASUs is the uniform that you wear, once you graduate and do all that, or you have to go to like a promotional ceremony. Well, the night before, you put all your bags out, your duffel bags out in order with, the platoon or the company that you're going to. And then from there, you go back up to your barracks. But you only take what you need for the next day. That's it. Like basically your hygiene kit and your uniform that you're going to wear the next day. Everything else stays downstairs. So, did I say no cell phones? You couldn't have your cell phone. I mean, at reception, you couldn't have your cell phone, but you could have it. It just couldn't be visible. If you bought your cell phone outside of the barracks and you didn't get caught, kudos to you. That's good. But you really was supposed to keep it locked up secure, because you're not supposed to have your phone while in training. So moving forward to the day we ship out. So we got outside, child was at 06, I want to say. Some of y'all are 07. I'm not too sure. And after that, we had to sit outside. We on our bag and just chill. People was falling asleep on their bag, and if you fell asleep, if you was caught falling asleep, guess what? Get up and go do push-ups and all that. Or they made you do detail. Detail is basically cleaning up, or just doing something irrelevant. I mean, it was relevant for something, especially if it needed to be clean, but just don't get caught sleeping, or don't fall asleep and get caught. So after that, it was time for ship out. I want to say I shipped out like maybe 10, 11 o'clock or so. The buses come. Mind you, our nerves, everyone's nerves was already bad, shot and everything. So the buses come, everybody just get nervous. We had to load all our, duffel bag. Well, we loaded one duffel bag in the, we loaded in the, what is that? I'm gonna just say the trailer truck. I can't even think of what it is right now. One bag we loaded in, and the other one we had to keep with us. So we all lined up by each bus that we were going on. Once we got on the bus, we were told to sit down, be quiet, put our duffel bag in our lap, and put your head down with your eyes closed. Do not open your eyes until you get off the bus later on. So we riding, and I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. My nerves was bad, y'all. I mean, bad. So, of course, when I was sitting down on the bus, I don't even remember who I was sitting by. That's how how bad it was. So, I was looking, while we're driving, or while the bus was going, I was looking out the side of the window, to see where I'm going, because that's one thing. You can tell me to close my eyes, but I don't like going somewhere and not knowing, my surroundings, because y'all could have been driving me in the middle of nowhere, So, so the bus is going, and I'm in there, eyes closed, and I'm like this on the side, peeking to try to see, where I was. And there was a drill sergeant up there, and it was Drill Sergeant Ochoa. I'll tell y'all about Drill Sergeant Ochoa later on, or in another video. So here he comes, Drill Sergeant Ochoa. He comes in his white t-shirt, these blue pants, his drill sergeant hat, with his mustache on. And I kid you not, Drill Sergeant Ochoa looked like somebody that was in the Coast Guard at my MEP station. Because it's like when I saw him, I'm like, weren't you just at MEP station? How you in the drill, a drill sergeant here? But of course, all people look alike, or people look alike. So, drill sergeant comes on, and it's like when he came on, I'm not talking about anybody, but it's like he had like a high pitched voice, or not high pitched, but it was up there, and I was like, uh-oh, it just got real. Like, he was hollering and this and that, and then he said, you guys have 30 seconds to get off my bus and form up outside and get your bags and form up, and you've just wasted 10. I mean, we got up so fast and ran off that bus. Of course, we didn't make it on time, but as soon as we got off that bus, there was a line of drill sergeants waiting on us right when we got off. It was so crazy. Right when we got up, they were howling and screaming, telling us, get our bag. I don't care whose bag you grab, just grab a bag and go stand in formation. And there was, this is how we knew what platoon we were in. The buses we were on were in, when we formed up at reception, we were in our company, each company. Whether it was Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, I was in Charlie. Charlie Rock, Charlie 313 to be exact, for any Charlie 313, Fort Jackson, 40 rounds. Cool. So, I was in Charlie 313. So there was red tape, blue tape, white tape, and yellow tape. So, my platoon, we were blue. So we had to find the blue line, or the blue tape, and then grab our bag, or grab whoever bag you can get your hand on. And at that point, you just grab the bag. And we had to run to the company area, underneath like the pavilion, and stand, in formation in the line. Now, when we were there, another drill sergeant came, and at this time we had 3 drill sergeants: Drill Sergeant Ochoa, Drill Sergeant Yan, and Drill Sergeant Candelaria. and they were all at us. They were all fussing at us in our face. They were hollering. They were screaming. It was like, pick up your bags, pick them up, put them down, pick them up, put them down, hold them over your shoulder. All right, just hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. And then Drill Sergeant Jan, excuse my language, but Drill Sergeant Jan, Drill Sergeant Ochoa, and Drill Sergeant Candelaria, they had, these catchphrases that we used throughout the whole thing. Drill Sergeant Jan was like, y'all just a bunch of weak ass baby back bitches. I'm like, oh my God. Now this whole time, my eyes probably red, wide, nervous as can be because I'm hot, I'm sweating. Mind you, it was hot outside. I had on this whole uniform. I had to carry the duffel bag on my back. I had my personal bag with me. And don't drop, but if you dropped your personal bag or any bag, you still had to pick it up and then some. So we still have our duffel bags over our head. I still have one. I think I had that bag in front, one in front of me, or it was on the back, and then my personal bag, one was on the front, one's on the back, one was over my head. So it was hot constantly. We're doing the up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then we had to do push-ups, half right face, do some push-ups, do it again, up and down, up and down, up and down, some jumping jacks, run in place with the bag over our head. Y'all, it was crazy. It was insane. Okay, mind you, I went in basic at 135. Weight was 135. Be mindful of that. So, as we're doing all this, there's people that, go around taking pictures and do videos. So, I'm not paying them no mind. My mind is in another state right now trying to see what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Because if I'm doing wrong, let me correct it so they don't come at me. The whole time I was at, basically, I was hoping nobody would have come fuss after me, but clearly they did. And I ain't paying no mind to it. Say, do what you do, or do what you're told, and you go about your business, everything will be okay. So, as we were going, or doing, the bags and everything, I look over, and there's this one girl, her name was Worrell. Actually, there was two people. There was Soto, I believe, and Worrell, but I think they passed out like 2 different times. I look in the corner, and all of a sudden, I just see somebody just passed out in the corner. And I'm like, oh Lord, somebody done died already. So they trying to wake this girl up, wake her up, hitting her in the face, not intentionally, but they doing it to make sure she all right. They go get some ice bags, or it's an ice pack, or ice sheets. Basically, if you got to get the ice sheets, it's something serious. That means you heat cat. So basically, heat cat, they'll tell you what to do. For a heat cat 3, you basically have to roll up your sleeves, or cuff your sleeves in, and roll up your pants. I think it's like once or twice, so the air can circulate. Well, even though if you're not hydrated and you hot, guess what? You passing out, and that's what she did. She had passed out. They done undressed her. They undressed her down to the bra and the underwear, and they had to place some ice sheets, which is basically some towels chilled in ice, and they had to put it on her to to cool her off, and so she can get some type of circulation going on. But after that, they done sent her to sick hall or sent her to the hospital. She came back like a week or 2 later, but she came back. But I'm not gonna get too much into that. That's personal. There was some other people too that fainted, but they got back together. The name of my company was, of course, it was Charlie Rock 313. I was in the 3rd Platoon Assassins. Nobody liked the Assassins. Nobody liked the 3rd Platoon. It was, at the end, we were the best. Y'all can talk about us all y'all want, but at the end, y'all know who ran it all. But that's it for that. Sorry, that's it for that. My next video, I'm gonna go more into my basic and all that stuff, but this was just like a brief introduction of what went on. I know I rambled my mouth a lot. I was all over with things, but as I say, I'm late with this. I got out of I graduated from AIT January 29th. I got home, it was February 29th / February 1st. January 30th. January 30th-ish, or something like whatever. It was the end of January, beginning of February. So if you have any comments, comment below. If you like, subscribe, please share. feel free. And if you are enlisted in the military and you're going towards Fort Jackson, feel free to ask questions. I'm here. I'll let you know. Yeah, that's it. So until next time, see y'all later. Bye.